Most people don't know what they're doing in their own lives, let alone yours.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What is up, guys? Airman Quintero here. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I posted anything about the Air Force, so I just wanted to give you guys an update, as well as talk about something that's really been eating at me as of late, and that is dealing with negativity from people in regards to joining the military, which is something I've been getting a lot of recently. I've been getting a lot of friends and family giving me their 2 cents like it's worth anything. So I just want to let you guys know where I stand on that, because if you're thinking about joining the military or actually going to join the military like me, this is something that you're just gonna have to deal with, and it's something that can steer you from your path if you give credence to what the naysayers are saying. But before I get into that, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're not new to this channel, just want to thank you so much for the support. I know I only have about 43 subscribers at the moment, but considering I'm a new channel with only 3 vids, well, like 4 after I post this one, I think that's pretty good. So thank you to everyone who's watching, supporting, and liking this channel as I start my Air Force journey.
And here we go.
Okay, so ever since I was 20 years old, I was interested in joining the military. It's just something I always thought was cool to do. I'm a guy who takes pride in himself, and to me, serving the country and being in the military is a pretty cool thing to do. It's something that I'm gonna be proud of for the rest of my life. The fact that most people don't serve or are too scared to serve or just prefer not to serve actually makes me want to do it more. But when I was 20, I was very impressionable, very insecure of myself, and cared way too much of what people thought. I remember when I first told my parents that I wanted to join the military, they literally set up like this family intervention style reunion where basically everyone in my immediate family, from like my aunt and uncle to my grandmother, were telling me how I could die, how I was too skinny, how I wasn't cut out for the military, just like all this fear-mongering propaganda. And I was just too young and too dumb to realize that no one in my family knew what they were talking about. No one in my family has served. No one in my family knows anybody who served. So honestly, they were just talking out of their ass. And that's something, as a grown man, I now know how to look out for. When someone is giving me advice, are they an expert on that topic? Do they have experience in that giving topic? What exactly are the credentials of the person trying to give you this advice? I wouldn't take relationship advice from someone who's been divorced 5 times, just like I wouldn't take military advice from someone who's never served. You really gotta have a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson mentality.
It doesn't matter what you think!
So needless to say, when I was 20, I didn't join. I actually ended up moving from my hometown in Miami to Virginia, started working in banking as a personal banker, and that was my life for the next 6 or 7 years. And if you guys know anything about banking or have worked in banking, you guys know that it's a thankless, pretty soulless job. It's basically a sales job. You have to open up a certain amount of accounts, loans, mortgages every month, and if you don't open up enough of those accounts, eventually your job will be on the line. I honestly just felt like I was a hamster on a wheel, and I just wasn't happy in my life. It wasn't a job that like fulfilled me. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I remember being so disenchanted with my professional career that I told her, I said, hey, I think I want to join the military so I can go back to school, travel the world, and do something that'll benefit me and our future in the long run. Well, needless to say, my girlfriend at the time was not supportive at all. She was like, if you go to the military, we won't ever see each other, and I don't do long distance relationships. So essentially, she gave me an ultimatum. It was either the military or her. Guess which one I chose?
I've made a huge mistake.
So again, I didn't join. I chose to stay in that relationship I had been in for 3 years because I didn't really want to lose my girlfriend at the time. And although I wasn't really happy with where I was in life, I was comfortable. And if you give a man shelter, consistent sex, and comfort, he'll throw ambition right out the window. And honestly, that's what happened to me.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Ironically enough though, we ended up breaking up. Shocking, right? And now our relationship is really long distance. But the breakup did liberate me and give me the freedom to pursue my dream of joining the Air Force. I walked into a recruiter's office this past January, did the ASVAB, took the D-Lab to become a linguist, passed, thankfully, and I'm currently set to ship out in 10 days on November 30th. I didn't tell anybody of my plans, not even my parents, until after I signed the contract and swore in. I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want people's negativity to deter me from my goal. So I wanted to wait until I had all my ducks in a row because I wanted to protect my energy. I'm a firm believer in not telling people your plans until your plans are finished, because people like to pretend they're supportive when behind closed doors they're preying on your downfall. So protect your energy at all costs because it does have an effect on your mental and your goals.
I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy.
So once I swore in and everything was set, I started telling my friends and my family, hey, I'm joining the Air Force, I'm leaving in November. Not really asking for any advice or opinions, I just want to let you guys know I'm doing it so you guys aren't caught completely off guard when I leave. And as expected, I got a lot of negative feedback. One critique I got was that I was too old to join the Air Force because I'm 32. I swear to God, I've never been told I was too old for anything in my life until I started telling people I was joining the Air Force. Now apparently I'm as old as Joe Biden.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the, I want to be clear, I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus.
To me, 32 is still young. It's still an age where people are trying to decide what they're gonna be for the rest of their lives. I know when I was working in banking, most of the people who I had to deal with were people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and up who had less than $1,000 in the bank. So I know firsthand 32 is still really young in the grand scheme of things. So although yes, I will be an older recruit heading into the Air Force, it's not something I was gonna let deter me.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Another common critique I got from friends was that I was signing my freedom away. I got a lot of that, which is funny because the same people who tell me I'm signing my freedom away are the same people that are slaves to their jobs, slaves to their bills, slaves to their families, slaves to their fucking phones. But I tell them I'm joining the Air Force and now all of a sudden everybody's a freedom fighter. The way I look at it is yes, I am giving my freedom away somewhat, especially in boot camp and in tech school. I'm not gonna have much, if any, freedom to do anything besides what the Air Force is telling me to do. But after tech school, when I get to my new duty station, I'm gonna have just as much freedom as my civilian friends back home. Yes, the Air Force will occasionally relocate me, but the way I see it, if LeBron James gets traded from the Lakers to the New York Knicks, is he a slave to the NBA? No, he's not, because moving and relocating is a part of being a professional athlete, just like relocation and the occasional deployment is part of being a soldier. And besides, like, most people just go to work, come home, jerk off for like 5 hours, then go to sleep and do the same thing the next day, and that's their life. So if that's freedom, then I'll be okay because I can do that same shit when I get to my first duty station. Another negative thing I got, especially when Biden pulled out the troops in Afghanistan, was about my safety and putting myself in harm's way. Now, I'm not a math guy, but I like to look at the analytics, and out of 100,000 troops who served in Afghanistan, there were less than 500 military casualties, most in the Marines and the Army. So mathematically speaking, it's highly unlikely anything is gonna happen to me, although the threat will always be there if I get deployed. But with that said, people think that joining the military means like you're an infantry or special warfare. There are so many jobs that you can choose that put you out of harm's way. Obviously, anything can happen, but the job you choose can drastically reduce the chances anything happens to you. I'm not in infantry, I'm not in special warfare, I'm gonna be a crypto linguist. I'm basically the nerdiest of nerds in the Air Force, and to be considered a nerd in the Air Force is saying something. So while I can't guarantee everything will be okay, I can be confident that I'll be okay. Trust me, I like to live just as much as the next guy. So those are the main critiques I got. I think it's important to take everybody's opinion with with a grain of salt. 99% of people out there don't know what to do in regards to their own lives, let alone yours. So just do what you feel is right. Everybody who I personally know who has served or is serving has enjoyed their time in the military and don't regret serving. I know one person in the Army, I have a couple of friends in the Navy, I got a friend in the Air Force. They all gave me positive encouragement. Those are the people whose words I'm going to put value in the most because they've experienced it, they're living it, they've lived it, they know what they're talking about. So that'll be my biggest piece of advice. Take everyone's opinion with a grain of salt because it's your life, no one else's. I know there are a lot of people out there who are in my position and maybe they're letting other people's opinions and misconceptions influence their future. Don't. Listen to your heart, listen to your spirit. If your spirit is at peace, I think it's a sign you're making the right decision, no matter what that is. But that'll be it for this video, guys. Like I said earlier, I have 10 days left before I ship out to boot camp. I'll make one more video when I get to the hotel. It'll probably be a packing list video and my final thoughts heading in. Very excited to finally get this next chapter in my life started, and I'm glad you guys are sticking around for the journey. Until next time, guys, Godspeed.